A wonderful day, grade 9 students! Welcome to SDO-VALENZUELA Live Science 9, where learning is fun. Are you ready for today's fun-filled learning experience? But wait, before we begin, let me give you some reminders to observe during our live discussion.
Use your real name. Choose a workspace that is suitable for learning. Take down notes during class. Use the comment box appropriately. And respect.
Now please get your learner's module in science, your pen, and notebook. If you're ready, let's begin with a review of your past lesson. I will show you 5 questions and you will choose if your answer is in heart or like. Send your answer in our comment box within 10 seconds. Are you ready? Let's begin.
This is number 1. The climate and blank of the Philippines both contribute to the occurrence of different weather disturbances such as storms and typhoons. In heart, location, and in like, weather. Type your answers now. Time's up. The answer is heart, location. Next. It refers to any significant change in the measures of climate lasting for an extended period of time. In heart, global warming. In like, climate change. Type your answers now. Time's up. The answer is like, climate change. Next. As the level of carbon dioxide concentration increases, global temperature blank. In heart, increases. In like, decreases. Type your answers now. Time's up. The answer is heart, increases. Next. A warming that results when the atmosphere traps heat radiating from Earth towards space. In heart, greenhouse effect. In like, global warming. Type your answers now. Time's up. The answer is heart, greenhouse effect. Next. It refers to the recent and ongoing rise in global temperature near Earth's surface. In heart, global heat. In like, global warming. Type your answers now. Time's up. The answer is like, global warming.
Amazing, grade 9 students! Now, let us proceed to our learning objectives. For today's session, you are expected to differentiate El Niño and La Niña phenomena, explain the effects of El Niño and La Niña phenomena on global climate, and enumerate activities that reduce risk and lessen the effects of climate change. Exciting, right? But before we begin with the discussion, let us watch this short video clip from GMA News Balitang Hali, aired last May 16, 2016.
Sari ang mga posibleng maging epekto ng El Nino phenomenon at babala ng pag-asa sa pagtama ng El Nino sa huling bahagi ng taon. Bagamat posibleng konti lang ang mananala sa mga bagyo sa bansa, maaaring matitindi naman ang mga ito. Balita natin ni Oscar Oida.
Ang pagsipa ng temperatura sa dagat Pasipiko at ang mabilis na paggalaw ng mainit na tubig pahilaga, dalawa raw sa indikasyong pinakamalakas sa loob ng maraming dekada ang El Niñong tatama ngayong taon. Yan ang babala ng Australian climate scientist na si Dr. Wenju Kai, batay sa datos ng US National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration. Ang pinakamalalang El Nino sa kasaysayan tumama noong 1997 hanggang 1998. Nagdulot ito ng malawakang pagbaha sa Yangtze River sa China na ikinasawi ng mahigit 1,500 tao. Labis ding naapektuhan noon ang Pilipinas na nasa ika-4 na taon noong paglago ng ekonomiya. Nagkaroon ng malawakang tagtuyot. Ang pinsala sa ating agrikultura umabot ng 8.46 billion pesos sa 16 na rehiyon. Kabilang sa mga epekto ng El Nino sa Pilipinas bukod sa tagtuyot ay ang pagkatigang ng lupa at pagkulang ng supply ng tubig at pagkakaroon ng mga forest fire. Maging sa kalusugan ng tao, may peligrong dulot ang El Nino tulad ng pagkakaroon ng diarrhea at mga sakit sa balat. Pagkalason dahil sa posibleng red tide at iba pang sakit na may kaugnayan sa init tulad ng heat cramps, heat exhaustion, external heat injury at heat stroke. Ayon sa Pag-asa, sa huling bahagi pa ng taon, mararanasan ang epekto ng El Nino. At kapag may El Nino, nababawasan daw ang bilang ng mga pumapasok na bagyo sa ating bansa.
Based on the video, what are the effects of El Nino? That's right. Extreme drought, lack in water supply, and of course, health diseases. El Nino is one of the major climatic events that occur in a global level. And of course, the Philippines is not immune to it. For us to understand how El Nino and La Nina occur, let us first talk about the trade winds. Trade winds or easterlies are the permanent east to west prevailing winds that flow in the Earth's equatorial region. In normal conditions, these trade winds push warm surface waters toward Asia, piling it up in the western Pacific. Part of it is the Philippine Sea. El Nino happens when the trade winds weaken and the warm surface water moves eastward and reduces the upwelling of cold water off the coast of South America. South American fishermen in the 19th century, describing warmer waters during Christmas time, coined the name El Nino, a Spanish word for the Blessed Child. El Nino is defined as abnormal and lengthy warming in the eastern part of the Pacific Ocean. When do scientists declare an El Nino? It is when the sea surface temperature in the equatorial Pacific Ocean rises 0.5 degrees Celsius over their historic average for 3 consecutive months. And once the atmospheric conditions and rainfall patterns change accordingly, scientists officially declare El Nino phenomena. El Nino occurs at irregular intervals of 2 to 7 years and lasts for 9 months or 2 years at most. Usually, it starts at the end of the year or during the Christmas season. During the El Nino phenomena, the western Pacific Ocean became colder. That's why there is a lesser rate of evaporation and lesser chance of rainfall. This is the reason why the Philippines experienced severe drought during the El Niño phenomena. Opposite happens in the Eastern Pacific Ocean, where there is a much higher rate of evaporation, causing stronger thunderstorm disturbance and massive storms in some parts of South America. The effects of El Niño are severe drought, stronger thunderstorm disturbance, and massive storms in the Eastern Pacific Ocean, and the decrease of population of some species. La Niña, on the other hand, is the opposite climatic disturbance of El Niño. La Niña means little girl in Spanish. This natural phenomenon may but does not always follow El Niño events. La Niña may last for 9 to 12 months, but in some cases, it lasts for 2 years. La Niña is triggered by the cooling of the eastern part of the Pacific Ocean or the cold Pacific. La Niña develops when stronger than normal easterly trade winds push the warm water farther towards the western Pacific and increase the upwelling of cool water towards the surface in the eastern Pacific. Moving air or trade wind brings along too much water vapor. Areas that experience severe drought, which was caused by El Niño, may encounter above normal rainfall just like the Philippines. But in some cases, areas that experience dry season will be drier than normal conditions. During La Niña, there will be above normal rainfall, strong monsoon activity, more tropical cyclones, and a short, dry season. Those are the opposite effects of El Niño. Now, let's see if you understand the difference between El Niño and La Niña. I will show you 5 statements, and you must identify whether the statement describes El Niño or La Niña. You have 10 seconds to answer in our comment section. Are you ready? Let's start!
This is number 1. It is an abnormal and lengthy warming in the eastern part of the Pacific Ocean. Is it El Niño or La Niña? Type your answers now. Time's up. The answer is El Niño. Next. It is triggered by the cooling of the eastern part of the Pacific Ocean or the cold Pacific. Is it El Niño or La Niña? Type your answers now. Time's up. The answer is La Niña. Next. This means little boy or Christ child. Is it El Niño or La Niña? Type your answers now. Time's up. The answer is El Niño. Next. It will most likely bring severe drought to the country. Is it El Niño or La Niña? Type your answers now. Time's up. The answer is El Niño. And for the last statement, it may cause increased rainfall in some areas of the Philippines. Is it El Niño or La Niña? Type your answers now. Time's up. The answer is La Nina. Amazing, grade 9 students!
El Nino and La Nina are two abnormal climatic phenomena, and experts say that these two phenomena were triggered by climate change. The question for all of us now is, how can we reduce the effects of climate change? Climate change is a universal issue that needs a universal effort to combat the problem. Let us play Guess That Word. You will complete the letters to form the word described by each picture. You have 10 seconds to answer. Are you ready? Let's begin.
What is this word? Type your answer now. Time's up. The answer is deforestation. How about this word? Do you know what is it? Type your answer now. Time's up. The answer is bioenergy. Can you identify these words? Type your answer now. Time's up. The answer is these fertilizers. What are these words? Type your answer now. Time's up. The answer is anaerobic digestion. And for the last one, what are these words? Type your answer now. Time's up. The answer is energy efficiency. Great job, grade 9 students!
Those words that you identified are some of the activities to reduce the effects of climate change. Reforestation is the process of replanting an area with trees. Planting new trees is one of the most effective ways to reduce atmospheric carbon dioxide and limit global warming. As forests grow, they remove carbon dioxide from the air through photosynthesis, working as a natural reservoir to store carbon dioxide. The sustainable use of bioenergy presents a major opportunity to address climate change by reducing fossil fuel carbon dioxide emissions. Synthetic fertilizers cause chains of chemical reactions that generate nitrous oxide, which is also a greenhouse gas. So reducing the use of synthetic fertilizers can help lessen the emission of greenhouse gas. Anaerobic digestion of waste systems captures methane and allows us to use that methane beneficially. Capturing methane is important because methane is a potent greenhouse gas that contributes to climate change, if allowed to escape to the atmosphere. Energy efficiency is critical to solving the climate crisis. In most cases, efficiency measures have proven to be the most cost-effective way to address climate change while reducing energy waste, saving money, and affordably expanding the use of renewable energy.
Those are the ways on how to reduce the risk of climate change. Now, students, I want to take this time to ask you, how can you help reduce the effect of climate change? You can type your answer in our comment section.
Thank you for your answers, students. Always remember, El Nino is abnormal and lengthy warming in the eastern part of the Pacific Ocean. El Nino causes severe drought in the Philippines. La Nina is the opposite climatic disturbance of El Nino. It is triggered by the cooling of the eastern part of the Pacific Ocean or the cold Pacific. La Nina causes increased rainfall in the country. Ways on how to reduce the risk of climate change are reforestation, use of bioenergy, reducing the use of synthetic fertilizers, anaerobic digestion of waste, and improved energy efficiency. Our planet took care of us. Now is the time to take care of it and reduce the effect of climate change. It is time for us to answer some questions about our topic. This is the first question. When is the last time that the Philippines encountered El Nino? Based on Pag-asa El Nino advisories, the last recorded El Nino occurred last 2018 to 2019. However, its effect is weaker than the El Nino phenomena in the country from January 2015 to July 2016. It lasted for 18 months and left with $325 million worth of total damage and production losses in crops. This is the last question. Do we have an El Nino or La Nina phenomena this year? According to Pag-asa's official website, we are currently in La Nina, which re-emerged during the third quarter of 2021 and continues to persist across the tropical Pacific Ocean. The majority of climate models suggest that La Nina will likely continue until March to April to May 2022 season, with a return to neutral condition during April, May, or June 2022 season. Thank you, grade 9 students, for watching today's session in Valenzuela FB Live Science 9. I hope you learned and enjoyed this session. Again, this is Miss Lolita Cornelius, your science teacher. Take care and God bless everyone.